Well, I'll tell you one thing. Not many people see this without a bunch of boatload of tourists showing up, busloads. Well, good morning. Morning of day 4. I put too much cinnamon in the little baggies of. Oh, I can't think yet. First thing that comes to mind is granola, but I think you know what I mean. I'm overstimulated. I mean, yesterday and the day before were overwhelming. And, you know, yesterday at the end of the day, I was like a kid at a carnival. I was just, you know, it was like, hey, I need to go to bed. And then I was just wired. I mean, I didn't sleep well because I was just wired. And having weird dreams, and it's weird. It's weird to get that as an adult. I have done this to myself before. One time I went to Vegas and I basically made myself sick. After a few days of running around to different casinos and stuff, I got sick, and then I was sick in a casino room for like 4 days, which sucked. And then I just went home. You know, yeah, I'm still thinking about going, but I just gotta tone things down a little bit, you know. Coleman Glacier, maybe it's not like unbelievable. Maybe it's just a hike. It's not like 6 sites left and right. It's still smoky, but I am really thinking about taking a day off. But I'm also thinking about taking one after Coleman Glacier. So at the end of today, or perhaps on our day off tomorrow, I would pack over to the other side of the lake there. Take up a spot at Robson Pass maybe, and just hang out. The next day, do snowbird, pack out a good way, you know, to like Emperor Falls or something. And then the next day I would have just over 16 kilometers to get out. So, yeah, maybe it will work out. That would be most of my food. I'd probably have a little bit of food left over, but it'd be a full 7 days out here. Anyway, that's what I'm considering. Well, I'm going to strike out. I'm going to go check out Coleman Glacier. See how far I can get. Maybe I can't do it all. Trying to just have a laid back day. I don't know if that's possible out here. It is smoky. There are clouds that are kind of moving in. So that rain prediction might come to pass. Taking a last look around here. Don't think I've forgotten anything. First thing I want to do is head over to the Warden Cabin, which is the horse, also part of the horse path. You know, this is the hiker path here, and then there's also a horse trail on this section of the North Boundary Trail. And from there, I'll go north and I will see the Aldophus horse campground. Those are always kind of interesting. They're usually quite nice. They're usually actually nicer than the hiker ones. So, let me go check that out. Well, the only entry I saw in the register from any sort of warden or anything was at the beginning of the season to come in and do some winter maintenance. I wonder if they don't bother signing or if that really is the only time they show up. Oh. Geez, right off the bat, the trail diverges off over there. Well, okay, well, I want to go to Aldophus Horse, so I don't know where that goes. More mystery trails. There's always more mystery trails. Well, nice to see the smoke is starting to clear up. And this is a pretty wicked view here. Things open up. Coming out of the warden cabin. Still haven't even seen Aldophus horse yet. This is already some pretty cool views. Well, there's definitely no question that I missed the horse campground. It appears I should have gone down that path. I thought it was pretty obvious I had to keep going down that other path. Those horse campgrounds are just not signed. I mean, the only people that ever use them are horse outfitters or wardens, and they knew the area, so they didn't need signs. Let the confusion begin. So, I'm on a path that's being slowly overgrown. Over there, there is a sign. So, that sign there obviously means that it's a hiker path. And that big sign over there must mean that that's a horse path. I don't know. I'm gonna have to bushwhack my way over there to check it out. Why 2 paths? You're gonna have enough problems keeping one path going. Okay. There is another path over here. It's actually better to find than the one I'm hiking. Guess maybe I'll stay on that path next time? I don't know. I could try this path. Oh well, anyway. Continuing on. Chown Creek, I won't be seeing you for some time. Maybe next year, maybe not. Okay, if I had walked another 50 steps, the 2 paths join up. I didn't have to bushwhack it, and now it becomes a lot more to find. Oh yeah, learning things the hard way, as always. I like the color of this swamp. It's an interesting color of green. Almost to Moose Pass. It's pretty obvious that that's it there. I just got to get down there so I can actually cut in there. This is not the Berg Lake Trail, but you appreciate the little things. And you've been walking just through a prairie for a while. It's nice to be back by a creek. I may have to cross this thing in my sandals. Now that I'm away from Berg Lake, I'm back into the world of taking my shoes off and crossing things that are ankle high or knee high. We'll see. Okay, that's 3 kilometers down. Well, according to them, only 2. According to my book, 2.9. I mean, none of them ever agree. But also, my book says Coleman Glacier is 6 kilometers, not 5. So, one little step down. First thing, head down to Smoky River. Well, you cut down a massive tree and make sure it falls the right direction. That's a 100% ingenious way of making a bridge. This bridge will last another 50 years. Like, man, even when it breaks, it'll still be good to cross. Some people are just smart as hell. Oh. There's a cairn there, and there's a cairn there, and there's a little piece of tape there, and I see a cairn over there. Okay. Oh, I think I see a little yellow marker over there. All right. Okay, so my crossing skills are going to get put to work. Here's an old dirty reservoir platypus that got left on trail and someone hung here. And these two and those two appear to be an old bridge. But that's long gone. This is pretty quick. You want to find a wide part of the river, and you know, you'd like to have it divided up like it is here. So this would not be a bad place. Huh. Well, there's definitely time to get into my my Crocs. Okay, I went the wrong way. Thank God for books. All right, so it says specifically that bridge that I crossed over there, the big tree, you cross that, and then you turn right and you head up to a bridge across the Yates Torrent. It even says, don't follow the markers straight, otherwise you're going to a horse ford. And that goes to Moose Pass. So, I did wrong. I just followed the markers. Probably should have looked at my book first. I don't have the book with me, I just took pictures of it, of the page. Okay, so I gotta go back where I was. And I gotta follow up here a bit. Okay, so there is the bridge. I came up to this, and then I went down there because I saw a marker. That is Moose Pass. There's another one way over there too. There's another marker. Hello, I didn't see it. And I'm pretty sure underneath it has a little hiker sign. Yes, sirree, Bob. Okay. I don't see anything else that's obvious yet, but you can already see that that big river down there is divided into several pieces now. So it should be an easier deal, but there also should be a bridge, at least in theory. Huh. So I'm at a crossroads. That sort of looks like a trail over there. So I can bounce across this easily and get over there. That's the safest option. Crossing this is, yeah. And I don't think that's the way over there. The information I have is from 1996. This trail is not in the Canadian Rockies Trail Guide. It's in a book called Jasper Robson Pass. Jasper Mount Robson, A Taste of Heaven. So, all right, I'm gonna go this way. Okay, so what I have done, this is the stream that I crossed originally on that big tree. So, I don't know if this is Yates Torrent or not. I'm supposed to keep going up Yates Torrent until I find a bridge, which may or may not be there. So, I've kept going up here a bit. I can't see anything. And I think maybe I'm supposed to be over there. I was supposed to bounce across and go over there and follow that. There's no semblance of a trail. There's no yellow markers. I'm just bushwhacking. So I'm definitely off the trail. I have to find the trail. Obviously, I can't bushwhack my way up to Coleman Glacier. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get across there and I'm gonna follow that other body of water, whatever the hell that is, creek, torrent, and see what happens. Okay, for those of you keeping score, when I said I was at a crossroads, I was standing on that little turn there. And then I crossed, and I went up that way for quite a while. Now I managed to cross there, and now we'll see what happens. See if I can find a trail or something. Maybe this little torrent over here is what I was supposed to be following. Trails by the river and creek are tough because it could be animals that did it. Who knows if it's a real trail? Again, there's no markers. I got nothing. I don't want to speak too soon, but it seems I've done correctly because I believe I found a trail. Still no markers, no help from Parks Canada on this one. But, yeah. Well, there's some blazes. There's a blaze, so now I definitely feel like I'm on a trail. Blazes are good. I forget that, just because Parks Canada didn't put something in here doesn't mean I shouldn't look for blazes. Oh, well, I see something crossing up there. Might be just a huge tree. Let's see. Well, that big tree back there was just a tree. Smoky River. Pretty wicked river. So my next concern is that the book I'm following is old. Older than hell. 22 years old. It says there's a bridge up here.
Fantastic. 22 years ago, there was a bridge. I know that trail maintenance has gone away entirely. So if there's no bridge, how in the name of freaking God am I going to cross that? Anyway, nothing to do but push forward, see what happens. I don't know if I like this. That could be evidence of an old bridge. Well, this is pretty wicked. Okay. Maybe there's a trail that goes up there. Maybe. But there looks like there's a trail there that goes up. But it could have been made by animals. But this rock to that little rock there, I suspect that was a bridge. And the bridge is completely gone. And maybe, it's a big ass maybe. Maybe I can cross over there, but that's doubtful. I mean, this is fast. It'd be very dangerous. Well, I hope I'm wrong. Let's hope that path is made by animals, and this is a path going up here to something else up there. Maybe it gets so thin I can jump across. Who the hell knows? Anyway, my options are pretty much down to go up there at this point. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Not many people see this without a bunch of boatload of tourists showing up, busloads. Again, you know, human activity. And look at this. That has nails sticking out of it. Maybe the trail did go up here. Look at that. That is an old bridge. I don't know what on earth it would have climbed up to, though. Maybe it's a very, very old bridge from God knows when. Swatting mosquitoes away here. Carry on. There's nothing else to do but carry on. It's either that or go back. And I'm not going to get lost heading up here. Well, according to both my apps, I have URanger and Mass with me. I should have crossed back there. So I don't think there's any doubt that the bridge was back there once upon a time. You can see that there's no bridge for the next 100 meters. Not bad though, this is pretty awesome. Might as well enjoy. The only way that you can hike Coleman Glacier is, it seems, to find a way across this river somewhere. But I mean, you're not going to do it anywhere here, clearly. So, but yeah, might as well enjoy this cool canyon. That trail, obviously, is dying away hard because no one can hike it. It's not on the Canadian Rockies Trail Guide, obviously, for the reason that the bridge is out and there's no way to do it. Maybe you could do it from the Moose Pass route, but you're talking 300 or 400 meters of bushwhack to get to a trail that's dying. So that trail could be completely overgrown. I mean, who knows? So you'd have to be quite the adventurer to try and get there from Moose Pass. Obviously, that's already kind of a big crossing over there too. It's like to get across, even to do Moose Pass right now. Oh, here's the trail. Even to do Moose Pass right now, it'd be, you know, you have to cross this over where I was there. And that's not, you know, it's fast moving water. If it sweeps you off your feet, you're in trouble. So yeah. I just spotted that. That there, that's got to be a piece of the old bridge. Coming back to the big, wide open part. It's just moving so fast. Man. Rivers do have a mind of their own. So this river definitely changed paths at one point because that tree is engulfed and the tree behind it is engulfed, and they both hate it. They're both dead. That one there too, dead. Those three there, they don't look very happy. Geez, whenever I'm shooting, that's when the bugs, the mosquitoes land. They know. They just know. Yeah, I think all this is new. All that little canal there. So that's why I had some problems trying to figure out. Like I think some of this used to be trail. So it got eaten by the river, by this new little piece of the river. Because now I don't see any more trail. Now I'm just bushwhacking. Oh, here's a little section. Oh, almost tripped on my butt. Okay. Yeah, I see ya. I see ya. I see you. And bam, it ends here. Okay. Now I need to find my way back to that. Wow, look at the difference between the silt and this guy. Sheesh, we're having a fight. Well, there's a mystery. There's a cairn. Way over there. The crossing for Moose Pass is way over there, so why that cairn is there, I'm not sure. Huh. Seeing that cairn was a curse because I hate leaving any rock unturned. I'm so stubborn. But trying to get across that river, even there, it would have been a risk of my life. So, not that I didn't consider it a lot. Maybe it's an alternate way to Coleman Glacier, but you'd have to wait until this river's a lot lower to do that. Like, yeah, it's one of those things, you know. I could try. The water's so silty, you can't tell how deep it is, and it's fast. I keep saying that, but that's the God's honest truth. If it was just calm, big deal. It's not going to sweep me out my feet, go up to my knees. But when it's fast like that, well. Anyway, I think this is the big tree with a sign on it. Yeah, oh, look at this. Root Bridge? Okay. Huh. That's kind of neat. Well, I've decided to push myself. What can I say? I'm a sucker for punishment. That was up to my knees. And here's a piece of the old bridge. 08. I still have all this to conquer. Well, if I'm going to learn how to do real backpacking on like the North Boundary Trail and stuff, I'm going to have to learn to conquer stuff like that. That was my reasoning for doing that. I haven't even got back to where the old bridge was as far as the Moose Pass horse ford. I stopped and drained my boots much as I could, but now they're waterlogged, and that's just the way that is. And I'm gonna go check out that cairn. I mean, I still would like to do Coleman Glacier, so yeah. The only downside is now I have to recross that bridge, that river, on my way back. That's where I was. You're to blame for all this, you know that, buddy? Yeah. All right, so let's see what happens. There's a little path going up this way. Well, sure enough, amazingly enough, I'm on the path up to Coleman Glacier. I think I'm past where the bridge was. Two theories about how that path came to be. One, it was the original path before they built the bridge. And yeah, they probably built the bridge in the golden age of backpacking, you know, the 70s and the 80s. And then when the bridge died out and the path got reinvigorated by new footsteps, it's also a shortcut from Moose Pass. I mean, you're coming up that way, you want to go up Coleman Glacier, why would you cross and then cross that bridge again? Two, once that bridge died, someone decided to carve out the new path. It's obviously getting no maintenance because I'm a couple of big ones. One actually I had a bit of trouble getting around. It was a big double. Nothing worse than double spruce trees. Anyway, unbelievably, I'm hiking to Coleman Glacier again. Well, to say the least, I'm out in the middle of nothing now. The trail is faint. It's not that easy to follow. You look for chainsaw work, old or new. There's no new on it. Old blazes. This one here is not easy to see, right? But I do see boot prints out here. So, and you know, they don't look that old. So amazingly, I'm always amazed to find that anyone is out here. Sometimes I forget that it's not just me who's nuts. Still going. It's mostly leveled out, and that's kind of nice. Well, I'm working hard. I'm trying to make up for lost time, for the time I lost mucking around down there trying to get through that bridge slash forward slash bridge, whatever you want to call all that. It's uphill in the forest. Starting to break out now. I mean, you can see that. The trail goes up that way. But yeah, I expected a bunch of climbing. Well, I finally battled my way out of the trees for the most part. That's some of the hardest hiking. Oh my God, a park marker. First one in ages. I haven't seen one since the crossing. Well, I was saying, going uphill through the trees, that's tough hiking. It's tough mentally. You got nothing to look at except a bunch of trees. No clear goal in front of you. And it just goes and goes and goes. Sometimes it goes for ages. And it's just tiring, right? So hiking uphill through the trees, that's no fun. But out of it now, got to do this tiny little crossing, and maybe I'll get a shot of that torrent that I've been hearing for ages but haven't been seeing. Smoky River again. I'm pretty much just following it the whole way. And I head back to the trail just over here. Well, it keeps teasing me with little patches of bare, but I don't actually break out. And now we have this rather big patch. And it's not totally sure where the trail is. Oh. Yeah, here's where I could have used a marker or two. Oh, found it. Here we go. Well, it's coming along. This is a lake that I had read about. Starting to get worried. I hadn't got to it for a while. The creek feeding that lake's making quite a racket. And then there's an outlet creek over there that I have to cross apparently. Not bad. This lake is not something you'd want to, it is looking like brown paste. This is not a typical mountain lake. Lots of life on this lake though, so. And much as brown is not a pretty color, it does indicate a lot of life. And this is a lake you could fish in, I'm sure. Not bad, not bad. That's a rock hop, but it's that's kind of a tough one. Goes down to feed Smoky River. All this brown water helps to make it a little more dirty. Well, I might be getting my feet wet again here. Well, I chose to cross here instead of over there. I got my my boots full of water again. Even with smoke. This is cool. All right. Now I'm supposed to walk 200 meters on gravel. So, okay. I'm gonna go back to that rock hop over there, which is I think the one that he was referring to in his book, and see if I can, yeah, I think I see more gravel over there. Yeah, that was definitely the rock hop you referred to. There's the trail over there. And we have cairns. All right, just gotta follow the rocks. So, there's a cairn. There's the next one. And that's the way it was the entire way through this. And here's the trail. Could not do this without the guidance and genius of the people before me. I have to give old campsite. I have to give props to those men. The people who build these trails, even though, and you know, there's still some people hiking on them, tramping them down. The animals help tramp them down. And the people who built cairns and stuff, so grateful, guys. There's no way I could do this stuff without you. Well, that trail went to a whole bunch more frustrating forest climb, I have to say. And then it started coming up quite a bit and it vanished on me. So I've lost it. Now, I've lost it a dozen times on this trail. Usually I find it again 10 feet later or 20 feet later or whatever. But the trail could have gone up there, up onto that deal, or it could be going up here, or it could be going up here. I don't see anything on this one, so I'm not totally sure what to do. I think I will walk across this and see if I can't find the trail. Well, no luck. I did mark the place where I figured I had lost the trail, or like, you know, once I kind of figured out that I couldn't find it anymore. Do I take a chance and climb one of these, or do I try and find the trail? Because there's supposed to be, at the end of the trail, there's supposed to be a good trail up a moraine, which gives you a great shot of Coleman Glacier. Now, I don't know if any of these give me a shot at all. I might just find myself in a dead end. In fact, it's a great chance I will. But it's super frustrating to go back down. It's so much work to get up here. All right, I think I will try and find the trail again. Jeez. I think I have found the trail, but it's so small and faint. And it leads right back up into where I lost it again. I mean, it's... At a certain point, the trail starts to look like other animal activity. And then other humans who have come in here have also got lost, so they start tramping down everything too, just the same way I am. And then that looks like a trail. So, yeah. I'm right back where I started right now. I didn't gain much from that. And this seems like a trail, but it also just seems like I'm bushwhacking. Man, to have come so far only to and overcome a bunch of obstacles only to lose a trail at the very end like this. And I don't know if the trail crosses over there. Seems like it died heading up this way. Well, all I can do is take a chance and go. I'll try up this way. I found a trail purely by chance. I hope it's the right one. Starting to see some snow. Nah, that's a waterfall. Anyway, it was up the right one, the way that I thought. Well, mission accomplished. I can barely see it. The smoke. Pretty wicked waterfalls coming out of it. That is, I don't know, they call it Yates Torrent after the guy who built this trail the first time, 1911, John Yates. But it also seems to be the Smoky River, I don't know. That joins up with the Smoky River, or that is the Smoky River coming out of the Coleman Glacier. I don't know. I know that in order to see the glacier, you have to get up here to see over that. But I think I would have preferred to stay down there, walk along the rocks along Smoky River. This is pretty outstanding in here, gotta say. Be even better, of course, without smoke, but here I am. I accomplished it. Yeah, so following those cairns and going into the forest takes you this high up from Smoky River, because at that point I was basically level with the river. But an alternate would be to follow it. I mean, that looks like just walking across rocks over there. All the way through. It'd be amazing to try and get on that, but I don't know, this all looks pretty unclimbable, except for professionals, of course. I mean, judging by the size of those falls, it would be pretty awesome to get to those falls. You could get right up to those. You're seeing falls that, you know, right up personal and close that no one sees. But you know, in order to like get up here or something, get up on that ridge would be the place to see the Coleman Glacier. Like, holy crap. But yeah, this would be pretty outstanding without the smoke. But as it is, it's just cool to be here. Okay, so this is the chasm I was standing at before when I didn't know where to go. Right? I was like left, right. I thought maybe I would go. Holy crap, that was loud. Damn. I thought maybe I'd go up the middle there. I'm glad I didn't do those. The left would have obviously brought me up to this. The middle would have brought me to nothing, and then what? You know, how am I supposed to climb this? So you go up the right one. I thought I was supposed to get to a moraine. This is the moraine. I didn't realize that. And then the glacier was on the other side here. And that's how you do her. I'll see if I can build a cairn or two, but I'm not sure how much it'll help. But I'll try to help the future guys out. Well, it's not my imagination. The trail certainly does vanish. I tried to walk down it off that moraine, and it still vanished. So here's where you first lose it. You're walking up along here, and this is what you come to. If you just keep going through those trees, keep heading generally in a straight line up, you will eventually come to that scene where you have the two moraines, and you know, the one on the right and the one on the left. You just go up the one on the right. I left a cairn up there. Who knows how long it'll last. I am not good at building cairns, at least not yet. But yeah, here you can see I've got the trail back. I had marked this on my phone to make sure I found it. But yeah, it just kind of goes away once you get a little higher. Well, that's one forest descent taken care of. I'm gonna take a little side trip because I saw water like shooting out over here. So, let's see if there's anything interesting. Well, this is as close as I can get. I don't have the energy to try and get over there a little better, so I've seen so many waterfalls. Yeah, it's good enough for me. There's a lot of things you could do on this trail if you're willing to bushwhack. The falls coming down, feeding that brown lake look awesome. And they go up a ways too. And of course, you can still kind of see those falls over there, just kind of peeking through the trees. There's no shortage of falls in the Rocky Mountains. I'm gonna have a nice break. I'll do this crossing, skirt around the lake, and carry on. Well, I feel pretty good about things now. I skirted around the lake. Now I'm going through the part where it's kind of meadow, but not really meadow, but kind of meadow. Eventually it'll go into the forest and there'll be a big forest descent. Certainly feel a lot better coming out of this than you going in. I mean, there's still parts where I could lose the trail on the way out, but I mean, I found it on the way in, and I tried to look back every so often when I thought something was a little sketchy and get a picture. And then I also left breadcrumbs on maps would be. I started a few places, so just in case, because sometimes that does happen. You don't realize you're stepping out of a very ambivalent spot in the bush, and you don't think about how you're going to find that spot again when you head back. And that's happened to me once or twice. But I left about an hour ago. I did my little side trip to the waterfall and took a little break, and I'm already down here, so it's 10 after 5. I figure 4 hours is probably solid. There's probably plenty of time for me to get back. In the book, it says 2 hours, 40 minutes, but those guys are pros. So I'm giving myself 4 hours. That would put me back at 8 o'clock, which would be plenty of time. So, yeah. It's almost, the amount of stress I had coming into this, it's kind of a relief walking out, I gotta say. Stress is kind of pouring off me. And I definitely have a sense of pride. Yates Torrent from a different angle. Not bad, man. See over there, it wouldn't be too bad to bushwhack. That's not very thick down there. Oh, such a sea of riches out here. On the way up, I just cruised. I just wanted to get through this as fast as I could. I'm not sure where it went down to the old bridge. I'm looking. There we go. That's kind of steep. And the penalty for tripping and going for a roll was death. So yeah, wouldn't mind going up that, but going down? For a trail that gets almost no trail maintenance, this is some of the worst stuff I've had to deal with. So I think in this case, I just went up here around this one. The description of the trail in 1996 off of that book I used says that I got very little trail maintenance. So I mean, it's in good shape considering that you know, it's probably got a warden come through here every 5 years type thing. Those yellow diamonds didn't look that old. Someone put them there. So they must have done some chainsaw work. But yeah, everything grows slow and dies slow at this elevation. Really helps keep the trails relatively clear, so the trees haven't been an issue. I'm back. It's amazing what one little pile of rocks can do to change your day. I was all ready to give up, quit, go back home. And then I saw that and thought, you know what? There's probably a trail over here. And decided to brave the river. And here I am. I did the trail. This is actually different than the way I came. This is the trail. I just kind of hiked on the riverbank until I got to it. Now, look at these huge cairns. This heads off to Moose Pass over here. Oh, you look at that. There's even a sign indicating that there's a path, a backpacker path there. Huh. Ugh, too much trouble to get close to. I just have to do with that. All right, that's Moose Pass over there. Head over to the Moose Pass horse ford, which of course is null and void. And go over to these little, about 100 feet downriver where I was last time and cross. Okay, things to consider. 1, my legs are more tired than they were earlier today. 2, the water could be higher. In fact, it's a pretty good chance. Later in the day, the water gets higher. So, trying to see exactly where I was earlier, but I think this was it. So that's one. That's the big one. Yikes. And then after that, that's the easy stuff almost. All right. Okay, this isn't something you rush into. I tried over there. I'd only taken like 3 steps and it was already pretty high. It was already getting up to my knee. There, now I see where I actually, then I spotted the old bridge there, and now I see where I actually crossed. So, yeah, you want to go in the same spot again, right? You know what worked the first time, so. The water's higher, well, there's nothing I can do about that, so. Boy, am I glad that's done. That part there, it was started pushing me downstream to the point where I wasn't making a lot of leeway anymore, so I had to start jamming my leg over to the left as, like, every step was downstream. It has to be like that. Otherwise, you're fighting upstream and using a lot of energy. It doesn't work that well. So you're crossing diagonally, right? Except in this case, I got to the middle and I started going like straight down and just trying to, so I had to really muscle and try my, it got up above my knees. It got up to, yeah, you can see right there. And that fast rapid, yeah. That was probably my limit. I wanted to see what my limit was for crossing streams, and that speed, that high, I mean, I don't think you want to be up to your waist. I think at that point it is sweeping you off your feet when you're going for a ride. So, I can swim, but yeah, there's a lot of bad things that can happen there. Start hitting rocks, your pack fills up with water. Yeah, lots of bad stuff, so don't want that. Oh, all right, well, I'm heading over to that tree bridge and taking a break. I deserve one after that. Okay, I'm still at the tree bridge. Let's review. Over there, there's that big dead tree with a bunch of markers on it. It's totally useless unless you want to go up and hike the Yates Torrents up there and see those. Other than that, the bridge is toast. So that's not going to get you to see Coleman Glacier or anything really, except for, yeah. Up there, that bridge is out. So over there, that's where I crossed. That's the only way you're gonna go see Coleman Glacier, is to go across that, which, you know, don't do unless you know what you're doing. I'm just sort of figuring it out as I go, but, you know, I don't want anyone to die because they're watching my damn YouTube video. And then up there, moves past, you can just turn, there's a sign. That'll take you to Coleman Glacier, and that's up in there. Okay, now you know. Well, North Boundary Trail, that's as far as I'm taking you. I hiked about 28 kilometers on this end, and I hiked 38 kilometers on the other end. Considering there's 179 kilometers in all, I think I beat off a pretty decent clip. Next year I'll go back and get those other 130 kilometers or whatever it is. Alrighty. Well, one last piece of adventure for the day. This is what I came across earlier. I mean, the horse trail is actually in better shape. Horses do a better job of tearing up the trail than humans do. The risk of taking a horse trail is that with horses, they won't build bridges, right? Because horses don't care about going in the water up to their ankles or whatever. They don't give a crap. In this case, that's hilarious because I've been doing backpacking trails all day and I've been crossing and my boots are basically full of water. So I don't care. If I have to cross, big deal. Let's go see where this goes to. I imagine Aldophus horse, and check that out since I missed it earlier. I was just about to talk about how, yeah, sure enough, there's no bridge here. Oh, look, it looks like there's an old broken bridge. How do I get to it? Oh, there's kind of a trail in here. Yeah, it's definitely a trail. So I guess if people didn't want to ride their horse, they could just send the horse across and walk. Huh. All right, well, we'll take it. Well, here we go. That's one hell of a bear pole. Got, as usual, you got a bunch of things set up to tie up the horses. Horse camps, they always have chainsaws, so they're in much better shape. Always. I wonder what you represent. IBEBBWDH. Surprise, surprise, this is way nicer than Aldophus hiker. It always is. They always are. 2015 FF. Well, someone is hanging around here. You got horseshoes, you got pretty fresh looking wood actually. Nice big fire pit. Yeah, always the case actually. Calumet. I don't even remember seeing that on the maps. What's this Calumet? Okay, I'd have to go look that up. You know, there's part of me that almost says they should just shut down the hiker campgrounds and just use the horse ones. They're just so much nicer. They really, really are. Whenever I go to one, I want to take my own tent down from where I am, you know, and go stay there. I mean, benches, and those benches were made in like 2015, 2014. I mean, they're still putting work into these things. So, mystery trail from, I saw earlier, was going to Aldophus horse. What I figured after the fact, of course. Notice how there's smoke coming out of it? I just had the coolest thing happen. Like, such a treat, such a delight. I come out of the trail that was from Aldophus horse, and I heard the door slam. And so I started calling, and there are 3 ladies staying at the warden cabin. They're doing assessment of the trail, which is delightful because I didn't think anything ever happened to this trail. Thought it was mostly just being ignored. So I BS with one of them for a while, and as I'm walking away, they call me in and ask me for dinner. They invite me in for supper. It's just like, so they fed me all this great food, and I'm BSing with these 3 ladies who are, you know, like they're pretty knowledgeable about the trails and everything, and I'm learning all this cool stuff. And that was just so much fun. Probably like at least an hour. They gave me some tea. I don't have to use up my food tonight. Yeah. That was such a super treat. I got to see the inside of a warden cabin. Yeah, man. Super awesome. Yeah, what an amazing, super cool way to end the day. Super cool. And, you know, it's neat that people who were like, oh my God, you hiked Coleman Glacier? Tell us about it. It's like, oh yeah, okay. So, yeah, told them all about it, and yeah. Oh. You just don't know how a day will go, how it will end. And that was a super cool ending. So, I had an awesome chat with those ladies. They're super cool. So nice. They even asked what my channel was. I usually don't mention my YouTube channel to anyone, but I wanted to show them Coleman Glacier. So you got to kind of explain why you're sitting there yakking to nobody. So if you ladies are watching, I had a great time. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Also, they mentioned that I'm probably the only person to go up to Coleman Glacier this year. And that makes sense because Smoky River, I mean, they were a little bit surprised that I managed to cross it. And, I mean, that means that no one comes from Moose Pass. Like, nobody comes from Moose Pass because it's very difficult. When I've read, at least. One thing about being by myself is I can do stuff like this. Right now I'm too lazy to extend a line across here, so I just throw this on there. I got that up there. I got those 2 over there because of course my knee pad is completely soaked now. It all makes no difference though. You know, my shoes will take days. You know, they're great. They don't get wet. You know, you basically have to like put the water over top of the boots in order for them to really get wet. But now that they are wet, they're going to be wet for like 2 days at least. So, yeah, I'm drying these out a bit, but it's pointless because I'm not going to put dry socks into wet boots. I'd rather do that on the day after and have at least, then the boots would be kind of dryish. And then I could put the dry socks in there and have a shot, right? But I might also just put these back on in the morning and put them back into those wet boots. And then I'll just try to wear them dry as the day goes on. All right. Enough talking about wet socks. Good night. That's it for day 4.